Ukraine's President Zelensky warns of big battles to come against Russian forces in the east of the country.
Well, the World Bank says it expects Ukraine's economy to shrink by 45% this year as a result of the war with Russia. The bank says enormous financial support is needed immediately to keep the government running and to support the population. It's already provided nearly $1 billion of assistance and is promising another $2 billion in the months ahead.
Now, as Russia intensifies its attack on the southern port city of Mariupol, some civilians have managed to escape north to the relative safety of Zaporizhia, where they've been telling our colleague Tom Bateman about their treatment at the hands of Putin's troops.
In the siege of Mariupol, it is the elderly and disabled who feel most trapped in the line of fire. 8-year-old Valentina's just been evacuated further north. She is blind and was in her kitchen when a shell exploded.
It's a good thing that my children were home. They picked me up, carried me outside, and we left immediately. I don't know what happened to my house, if it burned down or anything. We don't have any communications. The calls are no longer going through.
A lifetime in Mariupol was stripped away in days. Valentina says she had to cook food in her fireplace while friends went to fetch water. Here they're bringing in the wounded from all over the south. Vasil was doing all he could to help his fellow villagers under fire, ferrying bread, sugar and medicines to the elderly. But Moscow's war reached him at the roadside, and he rages at President Putin.
We stopped. I saw a bullet hit my window. As I was jumping out of the car, I got blown up by a mine. We were just living like normal people. We didn't ask anyone to come here. We didn't want this. What kind of liberty is he on about? Because of him, I lost my leg. I lost everything.
In towns even further north of here, there are now calls to evacuate. Now, these people can feel some safety here for now, but it might not be for long. And they know how merciless the Russian assault is. Thousands more have fled the fighting. They arrive at the aid shelters with nothing but the trauma of war. Serhi's village was caught in the crossfire. He says the Russian soldiers forced him into his home, demanding vodka, stealing his money, his phone, even his shoes. He says one put a gun to his chest.
He cocked his weapon and pulled the trigger, but the weapon had a stoppage. Me and my wife were holding our hands together. We thought that's it for us, and we said our goodbyes with our eyes. But the round jammed. I picked up that bullet later and gave it to my godson as a memory of us managing to stay alive.
Serhi's patched up his car after it was hit.
Shelled from a helicopter.
He says he's sure he'll go back home soon. Ukrainians believe they've won the first phase of this war. As Russia pours troops into the east, they know the next one will be decisive. Tom Bateman, BBC News, Zaporizhia in southeast Ukraine.